Known for his role as Dr. Jackson Avery on the award-winning medical series Grey's Anatomy, actor Jesse Williams has captured the attention of audiences worldwide, and now he's taking on the leading role in Prime Video's new series Hotel Costiera as a fixer in a luxury hotel who solves the problems of the hotel's wealthy guests while also uncovering some dark secrets. Let's take a look.
Where are you?
On my way to the hotel now.
Find anything?
Maybe. I should know a little more later. You're not barking orders at me at LA. Everything okay?
Nothing. It's just my father's asking for you.
Joining us now, actor Jesse Williams. How you doing?
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Let's talk about Hotel Costiera.
Yes.
It is really an action-packed drama and comedy series.
Yeah.
What drew you not only to the project, but in particular the role of Daniel DeLuca?
Yeah, it started with the character. It was, you know, I got a script that was kind of written in Italian and translated to English, early idea about this guy that was lost, that was kind of rudderless after, you know, a kind of a life as like a mischief-making kid in Naples that moved to America. He's both Italian, but also raised American. He's half black, he's white Italian, he's military, but started a life as like a little bit of a thief. And so he's kind of authentically these of two worlds in many places. And after 20 years in the military, he's kind of rudderless and kind of licking his wounds back in the town of his birth and trying to figure out his life.
You mentioned just all the different touch points that make Danielle such a complex character.
Yeah.
How did you go about preparing for a role of somebody who's so layered?
Yeah, it was working with the writers, but also what I did was I spent some time with some real operators, special forces guys, former military guys who had turned into the private sector as contractors, and how they kind of reacclimate themselves to so-called civilian life, but still on a job, but just not the job that they've always done, and adapt and stay sane and deal with their mental health and problem solve when you can't just beat all your problems to death, you know? So I thought that was ripe for exploring.
And throughout the series, Daniel, your character is searching for Alice, one of the daughters of the hotel owners.
That's right.
Can you give us a sense of some of the challenges that Daniel runs into trying to find her?
Yeah, I mean, he's, you know, working as a kind of private contractor, he's not privy to all the information, and he's not really allowed to be doing that job in some way. He's not law enforcement. And culturally, you know, he hasn't been back in Italy in a very, very long time. So he's kind of got to relearn and kind of get his authenticity card checked again as he's moving through Naples and different neighborhoods, but also keep up the appearances of, on the Amalfi Coast, all these wealthy guests. And so he's got to kind of juggle again this tightrope while trying to solve a crime that he doesn't really even want to reveal has existed, and then maybe this person doesn't want to be found.
You mentioned earlier that this is set in the Amalfi Coast, so I've never acted before, but I'd love to join the cast and just go stay and kick it for a little bit.
Yeah.
But give us a sense of how the location actually shapes the story.
I gotta say, as an actor, being able to work on location makes such a world of difference. The Amalfi Coast really does carry with it this air of mystery. Anytime you're in a place that has so much history, Italy as a whole, you know, in America the oldest buildings around you are maybe 100 years old, they're 1,000 or 2,000 years old. So there's stories upon stories, and we shot everything on location almost, so we're really in people's living rooms and homes, and we're really woven into the fabric of that society.
And we talked about just how international this cast is. You have people from Italy, France, Spain. What was it like to work across languages and cultures?
That was really cool. Different timing and styles and training methods, and also a lot of our actors were acting in English for the first time. And I was acting in Italian for the first time. I love, you know, we have really terrific actors also from Britain that just have a great comedic style. So kind of timing-wise, we were all surprising each other. You know, it really was this kind of meeting, this kind of UN meeting, and it was pretty fun.
Great dynamics there. All right, Jesse Williams, we thank you so much for joining us. You can watch Hotel Costiera on Prime Video beginning September 24th.